Welcome to the Modern Manifestation Podcast. I'm your host, Bree Brown, a business mindset coach, entrepreneur, and a top competitor in a male-dominated industry. I'm a native Texan, the youngest of all brothers, and a lettuce-hating, wine-loving, curses like a sailor, recovering perfectionist. I've spent over a decade building my commission-based career, and my life's purpose is helping other women achieve the same multi-six-figure success I achieved before I was 25. I have a passion for helping women with mindset, money, and manifestation skills to help every young woman realize her full potential. If you're looking for vulnerable conversations, professional development, inspiration, or even a kick in the ass to get you motivated, you have come to the right place. Thanks for checking out the Modern Manifestation Podcast. Now let's jump right in to today's topic. Hello, and welcome back to the Modern Manifestation Podcast. We are going to kick off today's episode with a little bit of gratitude. So this is something I started a couple months ago, where I started reading reviews or messages from people on Instagram or on their podcast platform. And today I wanted to extend gratitude or a big thank you to Vuslat. They reached out on Instagram to let me know that they recently went abroad for university and they're experiencing some change and just a little bit of turbulence that comes with that. It's a huge life change, totally understandable. And they just wanted to let me know that my podcast has been very helpful for them, has really helped them to see things from a different perspective and to live a more joyful life. And it was such a heartfelt message, and it really just brought so much joy to my day that I wanted to come on here and say thank you so much, Vuslat, for writing me that message. It meant the world to me. I loved it, totally made my day, and I do not take messages like that for granted. So thank you. Today, you are what I'm grateful for. So today, we are continuing the series on the 12 universal laws of manifestation, or as I like to call them, the guidelines for manifestation. If you are just now tuning into this series, I recommend that you go back and listen to the previous two episodes, which are the Law of Divine Oneness and then the Law of Vibration, because these episodes are building upon one another, and I don't want you to miss out on any information. So go back, they're literally the previous two episodes, just press play and then kind of run through them. So as I've said in previous episodes, these manifestation laws are really not the same as the mathematically proven scientific laws yet. So they do require a little bit of trust and faith here. Like, I don't want to say that they're on the same playing field as like gravity and mass and force and all of that, because we just don't have the data yet, right? Like, these laws don't have mathematical equations behind them. So I don't really think it's fair to hold them up to the same standard. And I'm hoping that as the field of quantum physics develops, that we will find these equations, so that we'll find the formulas behind them. But for right now, we don't have it. It's just a correlation. But that being said, I do believe that there are strong mindset changes that occur when you begin using these laws at a minimum. So you can have success even if you choose not to believe in the spiritual or the woo-woo stuff, whatever you want to call it. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, because there's something to be said about the motivational impact that these laws can have on your life. So what really came first? Did these laws impact a person's mindset and confidence? And then that became the set of guidelines? Or have these guidelines always been here, and we just tapped into the spiritual and allowed ourselves to be transformed by these laws? No clue. It's like that chicken or the egg situation. And honestly, it doesn't matter. Whether you believe these laws work based on spirituality or based on cultivating a growth mindset, it doesn't matter. Because I've seen these work wonders for people enough times to know that the source isn't important. All that matters is that they work. And a big part of believing in manifestation is that you have to have faith that something works without fully understanding the how, because that's a part of letting go. That's a part of breaking resistance. We have to trust that these laws are applicable to our lives to help them influence change. So with that, let's jump into the third of the 12 laws, the law of action. The law of action is probably the least talked about of all 12 laws, but honestly, it's absolutely my favorite because it really speaks to that logical side of myself, but it's also the most tangible law because it requires that you actually do something in order to manifest. Because this law states that you cannot manifest the things you want without taking action. Or better said, without putting your thoughts to action. Because manifestation requires that we take steps toward success. And this is where a lot of people get caught up on the idea of manifestation. They think it works more like magic, that you just wish for it and it's produced. So when many people first hear of manifestation, especially if they've just watched that documentary, The Secret, usually they'll be like, oh, well, the universe will just allow you to manifest the things you want by simply wanting them, or asking for them, or wishing for them, any variation of that, right? And if it were truly that easy, way more people would be singing the praises of manifestation, and it would be all over the internet, and every celebrity would be talking about it. It'd be all over the news. But instead, what happens is that a lot of people just make a few wishes without doing anything, and then they throw their hands up when it doesn't work and just say, oh my God, manifestation is just not real. I wished for $1 million, I wrote it down in a little journal, and it never came to fruition. No, duh. The law of action states that you actually have to take a step toward change, to change your current scenario that has manifested what your current situation is, and take a step forward into a new version of yourself that can manifest something better. And it doesn't have to be a huge step, right? The law of action has nothing to do with how grand the action actually is. It's just, can you take a step forward? According to the law of action, that is what is required to help you manifest, to take action. And the action required of you might be something that you're avoiding, something you're putting off, or something you're too afraid to try. So this law ends up blocking a lot of people that want to be comfortable or want to remain comfortable and maintain that status quo. And that's why this law can be unpopular for a lot of people, because it unfortunately says, hey, you can't manifest the things you want and stay comfortable and stay where you are. You have to put yourself in a position of vulnerability and take a step forward. Take some action that's going to put you in a space of opportunity. So to manifest the things you really want, you have to take this step forward to meet the universe halfway, because we're co-creating with the universe, right? We're not just demanding an outcome. You have to start the chain of reaction by making the first move. The universe isn't going to be like, oh my God, look over here at this beautiful, shiny pool of money. And you just like saunter over it like, oh, what's that, universe? Oh God, I fell in. Oh wow, so much success just found me. How did this happen? Oh, great, I'm so successful now. Great, now I'm going to take the first step towards all the things that I want. Reminds me of like the horror film where like the girl keeps like falling on the stairs, so she goes upward, like hiding from the murder. And she's like, oh wow, I just keep falling. Oh no. Anyway, sorry. Oh, I'm just cracking myself up. We're not going to accidentally fall into success because the universe just puts it in front of us. We have to take a step forward and show the universe what we actually want. We can say things all day long. We can verbalize things all day long, but actions speak loudest. And when we show the universe our willingness to move forward and our commitment to moving forward, it will start to meet us halfway and putting stepping stones in front of us. But we have to start actually stepping forward before it will slide the little pavement underneath you, if that makes sense. Moving forward and taking action shows the universe that you're ready to try and fail, no matter the cost and no matter the outcome. So you can think of this like an energetic exchange of money, like as if you're your own stock. You have to invest by believing in yourself enough to start before the universe will meet you halfway and match your contribution in order to help your stock grow. You have to prove to the universe that you're a good investment first by investing in yourself, or that you're good for the money. And this might take time because it's an investment, a long-term strategy. And too many people give up on themselves too quickly because they seek immediate gratification or they expect overnight success. And when they don't get it, they step backward and say, oh gosh, I knew I should have just stayed comfortable. This immediate gratification or this expectation of it comes from a place of scarcity. And the universe knows better. We can't trick it. You have to give yourself abundant space and permission to fail forward and to do whatever it is the thing is, despite your fears, for however long it takes. It's also not about taking a step in the right direction. There is no right or wrong here. You just have to take a step forward. And no one's success is linear. So forward does not mean it has to be in a straight line upward, right? There are going to be side steps and maybe back steps, and you go forward 3 and back 2. I mean, no one's success is a straight path. And side steps are always lessons to help you grow on the way to greatness. That way you don't make the same mistake at a more critical time down the line. As Gabby Bernstein always says, the universe always has your back. And it will make sure that you're continuously on the right track, no matter how crooked that track is, as long as you're committed to continually moving forward with it. And you pick up your foot to put it down before there's even something there to catch you. All of this is a part of the trust and surrender part of manifestation, letting go of resistance. And nothing says I'm ready to try and fail forward than taking a leap of faith not knowing how things will turn out. This is the ultimate trust in the universe. This is abundance. Knowing that the possibilities are endless and it might not work out, but it also could. And you're going to go after it anyway. These are the kinds of decisions that change lives. And you're the only one who can make the choice to try. You get to make that decision for yourself. No one else. So make sure it won't be a decision you will regret not taking. Consider the actions you could be taking and ask yourself, why not? And I can't talk about the law of action without also talking about emotions, because emotions are very important when it comes to this law. Because for most of us, how you feel generally dictates what you do. And as we know from previous episodes, a habit of ongoing negativity will not only block you from your goals, but this negativity can also make us more reclusive and pessimistic, which might cause us to miss more opportunities. So if you feel positive and excited, you're probably more likely to go to a networking event or to meet up with some friends. But if you're annoyed and apathetic, just pissed off at the world, you're probably more likely to skip on those public functions or avoid that impromptu happy hour that your boss is throwing. Neither of these scenarios are right or wrong, right? Because I'm a big proponent of self-care, and sometimes self-care is prioritizing rest and recovery over doing something. But it's important to be consciously aware of the choice that you're making. And that's what I'm trying to show here. So a question you can ask yourself is, am I letting my emotions drive my decision right now? Or do I genuinely need some rest tonight? Empowered decisions come from awareness. And our emotional state directly impacts whether or not we take actions that are aligned with a positive or a negative outcome. And we tend to do more external things when we're coming from that positive place and allowing space for new opportunities to come forth. Or in other words, when we come from this place of positivity, we're giving the universe more opportunities to work with, to work for us. And the last thing that I'll say about the law of action is that there are some, and I'm quoting here, manifestation gurus that love to say that you can manifest without action, just via meditation. And I won't speculate as to why they say this, but I will say that I strongly disagree with this, if this episode is any indication of that. When I hear this, I get this really gross feeling. I'm like, that just doesn't feel right. I'll never tell you something that just doesn't feel right to me. And that's something that doesn't feel right to me. If we were purely energetic beings, then yes, we could manifest without action. But we are beings that operate in the physical world. We have this physical plane around us, and we live in the world of cause and effect. So we have to create effect through cause or through action. And you can't just sit on your couch and say, I'm getting $1 million tomorrow, and then it just shows up without doing anything. You have to work toward this goal by setting intentions and working on becoming the person who has that wealth and making space for opportunities that can generate this kind of money, and then taking action toward making change. And even the best of us are still going to have limiting beliefs and core concepts of self and mindset things going on that keep us in the 3D. So I don't think it's possible to manifest with thoughts alone, because we're still physical beings. And we're limited by the constructs of the world we live in. If you want to be a successful singer, you have to go out into the world and create the success by putting yourself out there. And if you want a better relationship, you have to take the first step to becoming a better and more available partner. And if you want more success at work, you have to show up and become a more valuable employee. If you want to manifest your partner, you have to actually go on dates. Manifestation does not work without the law of action. And in many ways, I think this is very intentional. Whether or not we actually take action is a big test to see how much we actually want the things that we're working toward or that we're wishing for. So what do you really want? And what actions are you taking to get there? I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, please head over to your podcast app and rate me 5 stars, or better yet, write me a review. And when you do leave a review, DM me on Instagram at Modern Manifestation to let me know, and I will send you a copy of my manifestation meditation as a thank you. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will catch y'all next Monday. Until then, go out there and manifest some miracles. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this podcast, hit subscribe so you can stay up to date with new episodes. As always, we would love it if you would share this episode with friends and family who could use the inspiration. As a new podcast show, we would really appreciate your honest feedback so I know what you like and what you could use more of. As a thank you for leaving us a rating, we will send you our 7 weekly tips to create space for abundance. Make sure you screenshot your review and email it to us at hello@themodernmanifestation.com so we can send them straight to your inbox. If you'd like to stay connected, you can find us on Instagram or Facebook at Modern Manifestation, or you can head to our website at themodernmanifestation.com. Thanks again for joining me, and I will catch y'all in the next episode.